Hey guys, Matt Stiffler-Greasby again, Unit 4, Arousal, Stress, and Anxiety. Let's see, first question is, what professional career are you currently or intend to pursue? And I am pursuing both coaching and physical education teacher, as well as a history teacher, but for this part, just both being a teacher and a coach, a couple of stresses or sources of stress that I will come across in this career would be first performance-based, both as a teacher and coach, and then also dealing with the students and players. And dealing with this, how I prevent performance-based is knowing that it's not how I perform, it's what I choose to teach and what I choose to enforce and do for the drills or for the lesson plans, and knowing that I'm doing it all for the glory of God and not to make my name big or my name, glorious, but doing it to serve Him and His kingdom is a thing that I've always just reminded myself about as I continue to take part in observations and other, as I coach, and coaching with students as well, or coaching players, their performance, telling them that, hey, reminding them that they have worked so hard and they have worked in practice and they have progressed. And I think that's a huge thing for me, is showing the students where they've progressed from. With soccer, I've been working with a goalie and just showing him the progression of his technique, his punts especially, and then just his handwork while his catching the ball has really improved. And so just going over that, and what I do is I record some of the times I shoot on him and just show him, like, a month ago when we were first started, where his ball control was not as good as it once was, or what it is now. And so just being able to show them that they are improving, especially in the time that they get stressed out or depressed because of them not performing well. And so performance is definitely one of them. Environment, this is more for a coaching aspect of it. When we go to like an away field, away school where they're really rowdy and they're really loud and outgoing, and for me, I love that, but I know a lot of my players, or the players, get discouraged and they get, anxious and stressful because they're playing in a crazy environment. And for that, it's just reminding them, hey, like, we've practiced hard. We know, what our game plan is, what we're planning on doing in certain situations, and just remind them, hey, guys, like, this is something fun. Like, we get to go experience, a different school. Their fans, because when we're at our home and we're at our place, like, they, our fans get super crazy. And so just reminding them that, hey, this is part of the game and this is what makes it super fun. And what I tell them to do is go out there and put it to the floor and almost shut up the other team and make their fans silent. And just that goal of, hey, if we come out there and we do our best, we're going to come away, either with a moral victory or victory. And I remind them that, to have fun in the games. Another stress, emotional stress, and this can be a lot of different things. I know some athletes, there's a couple of them that I've been coaching that are coming back from different injuries. One's coming back from an ACL tear, and he is afraid of going in super hard into tackles because that's how he tore his ACL earlier, or I guess last year. And so reminding, like, just that stress and that anxiety of he doesn't want to compete 100% because he's afraid that he'll hurt himself again. And so just reminding him, hey, like, your leg, it's been over a year, you're healed, you've been working out on your own, growing the ligaments, stretching them, but also putting them through, stress of its own, through physical fitness, and they are 100%, and the doctors have cleared you, your personal trainers cleared you. I've done personal workouts with him, and so just encouraging him that he can continue to work through, and he can go hard in the games and in practices. But I know other players are worried about injuries, and even for students, relationships, and even for, as a coach, as a teacher, just relationships, stressed out over what's happening in them, not wanting to ruin them, or, with, athletes, high school age, they're going through, girlfriend, boyfriend, my first girlfriend. And so, encouraging them then that, it's not the end of the world, that, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And so just reminding them that there's something more than just sports, just, athletics, just, even school and, relationships, that there's something bigger in life that we're a part of. and we get to be, a part of God's plan. So there's a couple things. I know I had a player 2 years ago encounter or go through the loss of a family member that was close to him, and so just that stress of and anxiety of, oh my gosh, like, this might happen to me, like, and so just the way that his grandma passed away was rough, and so just the deal of working with him through it, like it was something completely outside of the game. But as a coach, and even as teachers, will come across, like, there's gonna be different situations where your students, are stressed out and anxious, and so working through that with them is a great way. Unexpected or unreal expectations for players. A couple of my players, their parents are very strict and want them to perform at high levels and at levels that they had once played at. And so just for me, it's reinforcing them that they are, good players where they're at, and that they're part of a system and part of a team where I need them to perform at certain positions. And, I know there's one parent who wants his son to score all the time, and I have him playing right defense on soccer right now, and he's not going to have as many opportunities to score, but that's where, he best fits my team, and that's where my team needs him. And so I remind him that, hey, like, as for the team, you're playing, you're playing for the team and not for your parents. And I've talked with the mom about it, and she's slowly understanding it and coming to that he's the defender now. But just that stress and anxiety in the beginning of last season that he had because he wasn't scoring, and his mom always talked to him about scoring and wanted him to score. And so for me, just reinforcing that, hey, you know what, there's you playing for a team and not for yourself. And then the Bible verse, from Matthew 6, not being anxious about life, what you'll eat or drink, or what you'll wear. Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Some biblical advice I can integrate into stress is, hey, showing guys, like, there's something more than just a sport, whether it's practice or a game, that there's more to life than that. And also, even the verse from Philippians, don't be anxious about anything, but through prayer and petition, bring your request to God. And just that aspect of, hey guys, God's got it all under control. He knows exactly where we're at. Be prayerful about it. Present, what you're worried about. And I think that goes for all aspects of life. And that's what I encourage a couple of my players that have come to me and say that they're Christians and they're, walking in faith. And I remind them, hey, like, guys, when you're struggling with school, when you're struggling with, with family stuff, be prayerful about it. Prayer is super powerful. And I think in this day and age, we often forget how powerful it is, and we kind of just put that on the back burner. Oh, we got to do it for breakfast or lunch or dinner. But I think prayer is awesome, and it's a great tool that we can integrate to help prevent stress and encourage our students. So, all right, guys, have a great night.